We're very pleased with those results. These were huge swings to Labour. The Wellingborough one was the second biggest swing in a by-election since the Second World War. And I was very pleased last night to see that we were clearly getting Tory switchers. In other words, people who hadn't voted for the Labour Party before, coming out last night and voting for the Labour Party in a by-election.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to My Left Eye. Keir Starmer certainly seems to be proud of himself, giving himself a massive pat on the back, doing the news rounds this morning following yesterday's by-election victories in Kingswood and Wellingborough, respectively. Starmer seems to think this means that the Conservatives are losing votes to the Labour Party. However, if that's the case, then he's either not seen the results properly or he can't count. When you actually take a look at the statistics, this shows voters abandoning the Conservative Party, yes, but are they moving towards Labour? I think under closer scrutiny, we'll find that that simply isn't the case. Let's take a closer look.
We're very pleased with those results. These were huge swings to Labour. The Wellingborough one was the second biggest swing in a by-election since the Second World War. So this is a very significant swing. I think there is a message now from these by-elections. We had a number of them last year, as you remember. I think the country is crying out for change. Everybody knows that things aren't working. Their NHS isn't working. They've got a cost of living crisis. I think they've concluded that the Tories have failed after 14 years. They can see now the Labour Party has changed. It's a different party to the party in 2019. And they can see that we've got the answers to their problems. And I was very pleased last night to see that we were clearly getting Tory switchers. In other words, people who hadn't voted for the Labour Party before, coming out last night and voting for the Labour Party in a by-election.
So you can see here, these are the actual figures from the result of the election. The Tories certainly took a walloping, losing almost 25,000 votes. But did all of those 25,000 people move over to the Labour Party? Far from it. As you can see there, Labour only gained 107 votes from the last general election in 2019. It seems, if anything, disgruntled Tory voters, if any were moved over to the Reform Party. You can see there they got almost 40 times as much in terms of gains compared to Labour's 107, getting 3,919 there. So what this doesn't show, as Starmer was hinting at, is that people are moving over to Labour. It was a low turnout. If anything, it just shows that Tory voters have stayed at home, or some of them have gone to vote for the Reform Party instead.
I think that if you look at these two results, you can see the vindication of the hard work that I've done as leader and that we've done together as leader. And I'll tell you why. Just take Wellingborough as an example, because I know you will have no end of Tory spokespeople out today saying it's a by-election, it's midterm, which it isn't anymore, by the way. It's low turnout. In Wellingborough, yes, there's a low turnout. That tends to be the position in by-elections. But more people voted Labour yesterday than voted Labour in 2019.
There were slightly more people. We're talking about 100 or so people who voted for Labour this time around than they did at the general election in 2019. However, it was nowhere near the amount of votes that Labour got in the same seat in 2017 under Jeremy Corbyn. And of course, Keir Starmer threw his own party under the bus just before the last general election by announcing, without authorisation, that Labour was doing a swift U-turn on its policy on leaving the European Union. So apart from staying in roughly the same position that they were at the last general election, it only seems to be abandonment of the Tories that has swung this seat in Labour's favour this time.
Despite the low turnout. That is not possible unless people who didn't vote Labour before have come over to us.
But again, as we take a look at the results of the other by-election in Kingswood, we see that that isn't true. Labour's vote in 2024, 11,000. That's about 5,000 down from the last general election in 2019, and about 8,000 fewer than voted in 2017. The Tory vote, of course, reduced massively from 27,000 to 8,000, as you can see there. So again, it's not a case of Labour making gains, it's more a case of Conservative voters either staying at home or voting for other right-wing parties such as Reform, as we saw in the other by-election. But what do you think about the results of these two by-elections this week? Let us know your thoughts. Do you think that Starmer's trying to throw the wool over people's eyes in claiming that people are moving from the Conservatives over to Labour? Keir Starmer did try to say in the interview that he's changed the party since he took over in 2020. That's certainly true. He's changed them from being a democratic socialist party into a neoliberal, poor imitation of the Tories. Let us know what you think about that as well. Do you think that these successes will be repeated in the general election coming later this year, or do you just think that in the by-elections, which traditionally have a low turnout, that it's just a case of Tory and right-wing voters staying on their arses as opposed to people moving out in droves to vote for Labour? Let us know your thoughts. Just wanted to say it's been great to get so many new subscribers recently. If you're new to the channel, you're very welcome here. Thanks a lot for your comments on some of the videos we've done lately. If you've not checked out some of our other content, please do so. You can see one of our videos right now in the bottom left hand corner of your screen. Well, until next time, take care everyone. We'll see you soon on my left eye.